Well, it turns out there are two parents in the US, specifically in San Francisco, who are saying that Epic is using FOMO, fear of missing out, to basically trick kids into buying these microtransaction type stuff from the Fortnite store, only to find out that the FOMO was not valid after all. So this lawsuit was filed 2 days ago. Yeah, it's kind of funny. It's by two parents, and each parent is like representing their kid. I think it's like two moms, and yeah, as mad as I would be sometimes growing up when I tried to do like the lasso challenge in Halo 3, you know, my mom never went to court for me, but I guess times have changed. So now this lawsuit is actually pretty interesting. This is all in regard to like timed exclusives on the Fortnite store. They use this picture as an example in the lawsuit. Now I do apologize, it is kind of blurry. I couldn't like save the actual photo because the entire lawsuit that I saw was just basically like one PDF, but I put an arrow on where I want you to look there. So this was actually something that they took out of the store about a year ago, where they have this little clock that says like 15 hours remaining on this item in the store. I don't know if anybody remembers this, but yeah, this is actually what the lawsuit is all based on. Essentially, the allegations are that there would be a lot of these items, you know, 15 hours remaining, 10 hours remaining, 5 hours remaining, and it would lead people to purchase the item because they didn't want to miss out on the item. You know, oh, it's going to be gone in 5 hours, I think I might want it, only for the item to not be off of the store after the timer expired, and in fact, allegedly, it would stay on the store for days, maybe even weeks after the timer hit zero. So regarding that image, the lawsuit says this image illustrates the deceptive practices at issue in this suit. The Horizon Zero Dawn bundle is advertised with a prominent pink graphic designating a purported discount. Just to the right, Fortnite displays a stopwatch icon and a timer 15 hours in the image above, partway through the 24-hour countdown to zero. So they say this display communicated that the availability of this item and the discounts were limited in time, such that the item would disappear or return to full price when the timer reached zero. And this is precisely how tens of millions of minor-aged Fortnite players understood this item listing and myriad other listings just like it. Now, as I said, this feature was taken away about a year ago. I saw some have asked in a Reddit thread, you know, does this mean that the lawsuit can still go through since this is a feature that is long gone, but people have pointed out yes. Even if this is something that happened, you know, 10 or 20 years ago, the lawsuit is still valid, of course, as long as they can prove that what they are saying is true, you know, that there were actual damages from this. So they go on to say that when the countdown timers would expire on these bundles and skins, Fortnite's item shop products did not disappear or return to full price. They remained available for purchase, often at the same discounted rate for many days or even weeks at a time. And then this is more of what they are alleging. They say this was an unlawful scheme. Fake sales with made-up expiration times are deceptive and illegal under state statutes, prescribing unfair and deceptive trade practices which prohibit misleading advertisements concerning the reasons for or existence of price reductions, and representing that items have characteristics or qualities they do not have. Numerous courts have found that fake countdown timers like Epic's run afoul of these and similar prohibitions. So obviously I was wondering what they were talking about. Have courts actually proven this to be true? Well, it turns out the website Polygon actually really came in clutch here. So they were actually the ones that kind of wrote a big article on this, and they were the ones that actually captured this whole legal document in the scribed website, which I do have linked in the description if you do want to read it. It's 21 pages. But Polygon did point out that yes, this actually just happened about a year ago, this same lawsuit, only on the other side of the world. So they say if this complaint sounds familiar, that is because it is. The Netherlands Authority for Consumers and Markets fined Epic Games about 1.1 million euros or 1.2 million US dollars in 2024 for its misleading countdown timers and other features that exploited the vulnerabilities of children. Now, Polygon actually just updated this article to include a statement that Epic actually gave them. Essentially, Epic is saying that, you know, they are going to fight these claims. They're going to prove them to be false. I guess kind of just typical corporate speak. They do mention that, yeah, last year they did remove this whole item countdown timer feature in their store. They also talk about other features that they have, you know, enacted recently to prevent, I guess, deception in their store, which obviously makes sense because, you know, when you're really looking at things overall, if Fortnite, as big as they are, it probably shouldn't be a surprise, but they have had quite a few lawsuits that are similar to this. I'm not even talking about like timed items in the store. I'm talking about just like overall stuff. There was a big one that went on for quite a while that actually just 2 months ago I made a video on this, that they started refunding players on. Like, this was a huge lawsuit where they were found to have basically deceived certain players from their store. They even had the term dark patterns being used to describe the alleged behaviors that they were engaging in their store to, I guess, you know, trick people, quote unquote, into buying their products. The thing is, though, that lawsuit was concerning things that happened, I would say, probably a few years ago, whereas this is concerning a feature that is probably a bit more recent, especially since it was just removed about a year ago. So we will see how this one turns out. I don't know if it's going to end up the same way. I don't know if some big refund will end up getting issued by Epic for this as well. We will see. The one in Netherlands, by the way, they actually were fined last year, and they are actually in the process of appealing it. So I don't know if Epic will win that appeal or if they will just have to dish out that fine. But with that going on in the Netherlands and now with this going on in the US, Epic's refund that they had to issue just 2 months ago might be just the start, as we could see some other refunds being issued out if this actually goes through.